inspiring, educating, and offering hope for families like yours. This is the Family Healing Room with Dr. Sonja Sutherland, a licensed counselor for 21 years and now a professor of counseling. Dr. Sonja wants you to know that your family can be stronger, your marriage can be peaceful and loving, and that safe, open, and enjoyable relationships with your sons or daughters is possible. And now, here's today's show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Family Healing Room. I'm joined today by Marcia Constable and her daughter, Kelsie Constable. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Glad to have you. And so, Marcia and Kelsie, I appreciate your joining us. And I wonder, as you got the invitation to join us on the Family Healing Room, what made you say yes?
The reason I said yes, I said yes. I know that, as parents, as people, we go through a lot of things, and life is a journey. So it's if our story can help somebody else, I think we're all willing to share that, to be able to, you know, give one perspective. There may be many perspectives, but at least to share our story.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's awesome. And so it's funny because you said, I agreed, which said that Kelsie didn't quite agree at the time that you did. So Kelsie, what made you go along with your mother?
Okay, so let me tell you how this went. So I was doing my own thing. I don't know what I was doing, probably reading at the time. And my mom says, "Oh yeah, we have an interview on Monday." She didn't tell me anything about it. I was like, "Okay, fine, yeah, let's do the interview." Because I just like doing random stuff, just like stuff out of the blue. So actually, I didn't really end up knowing what it was about until like 10 minutes ago. So but when you mentioned, what you wanted to get from this interview, I kind of realized the importance of it, and just I think kind of establishing a connection and understanding between people, and how people all around us are experiencing similar things, and we don't really discuss that. But if you really open up, then you'll find out that a lot of people are going through similar things or tougher things or anything of that matter. And it's just about opening up and understanding just everyone's experiences.
Yes, yes. Very well said. Very well said. You sound like you are a young woman wiser than your years.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right. So, Marcia, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you're a single mom, but tell us what you do. Share something with us about you.
Okay. So, yes, I'm a single mom, originally from Jamaica. I've always been entrepreneurial, so I had a computer school and computer consulting company in Jamaica.
Okay.
States, and if you're well, we've been here a while, and that's about me. I'm entrepreneurial, I am party girl, I am serious mom, I am I think that's me.
She parties a lot.
She goes too sometimes.
She likes to dance a lot, and that's just her thing. She loves Zumba, and then she'll go and dance on the dance floor till like God knows what time. But that's just her. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is your daughter, Kelsie.
Yes.
All right. So Kelsie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I'm 19 years old. I just finished my freshman year of college. I'm going into my sophomore year. I go to college at Loyola Marymount University, which is in Los Angeles, but I'm back home for the summer in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see. I like to read. I like to watch movies, like to spend time with my friends and my family. And I like doing spontaneous things. So just anything that's just adventurous and exciting. So like going on roller coasters or doing like going on hikes,
Jumping off cliffs.
yeah, like cliff jumping and thing into rivers and lakes and all that stuff. So that's me.
Wow. Okay. More power to you.
Yeah, good thing I have a steady heart.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Well, just talking with both of you for the first few minutes, it seems that, you guys have a pretty good relationship. What is one thing that you can attribute to the way your relationship is now?
Yeah. And I would say that's communication. We talk a lot.
Okay.
Kelsie is not. I don't think I shut her down. I can freeze her out sometimes, but I don't think I shut her down. And she's allowed to express herself because she is a human being. She's not just my child, my daughter. Right? She's a human being, and my purpose has been to develop this human being. This human being was placed in my care. And so it's for me to mother and develop. So I think communication, and especially since we became a single parent home, after divorce. One of the things when I knew that she was even through pain myself, though I didn't recognize pain in myself, but more caring for her because she was hurt, she was devastated, she'd lost her home and the community that she'd grown up in, right? So certain series of events led us to actually go back to Jamaica for 2 years where she did middle school. And I can say that was a saving grace for her. So her questions were always why, and delving deeply. I think the experience made her a much deeper person, very aware of people and surroundings and circumstances. And so she's had very deep philosophical questions, right? And some of them were hard for me to answer because some of them I just didn't have the answers to.
Sure.
She had to be there. It was
so let me ask you a question. So you said, to preface this, that when you talk about you two talk together, you didn't shut her down. Let's delve into that a little bit. What does that mean, that you didn't shut her down?
Okay, let me I'll tell you a little bit. So, we get along pretty well, but we're very different people. So she's like very like happy, like easygoing, like she's very just like out there, like she has a very extroverted personality, and she's very lighthearted, very happy. I, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more on the introverted side. I can be extroverted at some points, but I do like to like be quiet and sit and think. And I think like how we handle our emotions are also very different. So my mom will, I don't know how you tend to like dive into work. You just kind of keep on going, like no matter what. But me, I kind of like to process everything. So I'll sit down and probably just like wallow for a little bit, but then get back up again and that's eventually. But that's just how I process things. And I think like through our relationship, we've had to kind of through communication and through that's just how we've had to kind of manage both of ourselves on how we interact with each other, because like the way I process emotions will kind of it won't hinder you, but it kind of it's just like it's something she has to deal with.
It used to irritate me until I understood. You know, I had to learn that this was a person with a completely different personality. And she's a thinker. She's an artist. So she's a thinker. She delves into things. She would ask me questions, and I'd be like, she'd ask me, Mom, why are your fingers like this? And look at my fingers. I'm like, Kels, I don't know. And I would say, why do you see those things? And she'd say, Mom, I'm an artist. I see things. And so I had to understand that where I'm going like, boom, she is very deliberate and very, I had to learn to understand her.
Yeah.
What was your process of learning to
It
understand
was
her?
observation and it was listening. I had to learn to shut up, bite the tongue and be really quiet and just listen to what she was saying. I would say something about, yeah, that's why those people are like that. And Kels would say, Mom, you are generalizing. That's not right. And so through this whole process, we've kind of just learned to appreciate each other and appreciate our differences.
Yeah.
Not that sometimes we don't do this. But learn to just go,
What was this? I didn't see that. Like conflict? Not okay.
yeah,
There is that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will have that, but thankfully, those times are not very many. And I think they're necessary to any relationship, right? Because then this is another part of the person that we're learning. If you don't have that, you can't delve deeply. So in having that, I get to know her a little bit more and she gets to know me a little bit more.
How was your process able to help you actually learn each other? Your process of conflict? Because we know that conflict is experienced by everyone.
Yes.
But conflict can be negative in some spaces and positive in others, right? How did conflict help you grow?
I think even though we'll like bicker and fight sometimes, that after all of the emotions kind of like boil down, we'll always come back together and we'll kind of talk about how we were feeling and kind of work through it together. And then after we've done that, we kind of just start on a new page. We don't kind of go back and throw shade at each other like for the rest of the week. It's just very, it's deliberate. Like if it's happened, it's over, we learn from it, let's move on kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we also don't really judge each other. I think there's a mutual respect. I see a person who has grown, but still in the learning mode because I do not know it all. If I were to say that I know it all, I have all the answers, I would be doing myself and the world a disservice. And I understand she's growing, and I'm understanding that she's growing up in a different world to the world I grew up in. Our teens are, our young people are more exposed to things that we were never exposed to at this age. So they're processing things at a very different level than we are. And they're very accepting too. Whereas for me, I've had to learn to accept things that were not necessarily my norm. And so I think in the whole communication process and in knowing that she is made by God, she is who she is, I have to appreciate who she is and what she brings to the table because she brings something that's very valuable. She's taught me things that I have never learned but for her.
So you've pointed to several things. First, you said that you got to a space where you valued each other's thoughts and opinions. You didn't say it like that, but that's basically what you did say.
Yes.
Right? That even though your perspective may have been different, yours from Kelsie or Kelsie from yours, that at the end of the day, you chose, and Kelsie, you used this word, intentional. You chose to respect each other's beliefs or thoughts and perspectives and not judge them. And still see the value in each other, even with your differences.
She
And
is a human being as much as I am. And I do not want to be responsible for somebody who's beaten down. I want to know that at the end of the day, she's confident. She achieves her dreams, that each of us is here for a reason. And for me to do something that's going to take her away from her purpose of being here would be so wrong.
I mean, same thing for her. Like, I also want her to achieve her own dreams because, you know, she's not done living yet. She still wants to. She has like a bunch of goals, and I'm like, okay, you got this. And we're both like supporting each other through it. Like, she recognizes what I want to do, and I recognize what she wants to do, and so it's just about accepting, you know, what we have in common and what we have as differences, and then learning to live with that and finding a middle ground.
And she's a good girl.
It's almost like you're saying that even though your life is about you, your life is not about you. Your life is about each other, the other person as well.
We are very, I'd say one of the similar things between us is that we're very independent. So my mom will go do her own thing and I'll go do my thing, but we'll always come back together and we kind of realize that, you know, we're still in this like relationship. We're still supporting each other and help guide each other and learning from each other. But you know, all in all, like we can still go off and do our own thing. Like she allowed me to go to Los Angeles to study. You know, I know it's hard for her. She won't admit it, but it was hard for her. And it was hard for me too. But I really appreciate the fact that she didn't hold on and want me to stay in one place, but she allowed me to kind of spread my wings and go far off and experience what I wanted to experience, life in general. So. Yeah.
You both have also said that you are intentional in learning the other person.
Yeah.
It sounds like you both are comfortable sitting in the seat of the learner or the student. Yes. Almost as though you're a student of your daughter and your daughter is a student of you.
Yes, yes. It's interesting to see the things that come out of her, you know, and when we go out, like this Saturday night, we were out with one of my clients and friends. We were at her house for dinner actually, and she sent a text the following day, and your daughter is so funny, you know. And I hadn't seen Kelsie in that perspective, you know. I mean, I'm used to her, right? So,
yes.
And then so we were. Did we go back? Oh, we were there last week. Yes, we were there last week, and then we were back there this week again because she invited us over again, and you know, and so I am watching the interaction between Joy and Kelsie, and actually seeing a different side of her that I never even picked up on because we're so accustomed to each other, you know. So it was different. It was so good seeing her through the eyes of somebody else. And you know, I've always said to her, sweetie, if I am not here, I've always wanted her to have other mother females in her life, so that, you know, if we're having one of these times, then there's somebody else that she can talk to.
Sure.
It should not always have to be she's not mine, you know. She is here through me to be.
Yes. Do you have a lot of community friends in your lives?
Yes, yeah, we do. It's not very much like all concentrated in one area. It's very spread out. So we have a community in Jamaica. We have a community in Alpharetta, Georgia. We have a community in Marietta, Georgia. So it's just very all around. And then we have family members just spread off across the United States. So yeah, we do have a community, but it's not like, I wouldn't say it's really the norm what you really see. Just, I guess in my life and in her life, it's usually see people very concentrated places of where they find their community, but it's been very different since we moved around a lot. So we just kind of had to find community where it was.
Yeah, one thing that was very important for me was to keep her friendships.
Yeah.
So the school where she started off when she was 2.5, we're still friends with maybe 5, 6 of them. Six of them. Parents. Seven. Parents and children. Yeah. So we may not get together every week, or, you know, everybody's now off to college, right? So they started off at 2.5, they're now 19, so that's 16.5 years later. And then, you know, we come back, we get together, we all, the children and parents, party together. Yes. And it's not necessarily every week, you know, it may be once per 6 weeks or whatever, but that community still stands. I really wanted her to have that. I grew up in Jamaica, where I am still friends with almost everybody that I went to high school with.
Yes.
I may not see them because we're all over the place, but we're on a WhatsApp together, you know. And I wanted her in these big United States. I wanted her to have some community. We went to Jamaica for 2 years. She did middle school in Jamaica for 2 years. She did extremely well because we needed to get her out of the stressful situation into a new situation, where her spirits had been dashed, and that was a really turn. So I look at us today, and you know, that hit my finances, right? Because you go to Jamaica, it's not that you can really pick up another job easily. But for the 2 years that we were there, I was happy. I reconnected with family. She got to know family, but most of all, I think she got to know herself because she took leadership roles. Teachers loved her, students loved her. She was involved in everything. She went hiking with the guys, you know, up to Blue Mountain Peak. And so I think what we've learned through all of this, all of the moves, the difficulties, we have had to learn to have life evolve and make the best of it and learn from it and be our best selves. And life does not stop until we're not here anymore. So yeah, the community has been important for us wherever, as Kelsie said, wherever we've been. The community, we've had to hold or keep the community that we have. And it's different when you're a single family from when your wife and husband and child or children. It's different because now you have to be careful of these, the marital relationships. You have to be careful. So we find now that our young ones have gone off, like us mothers have developed a book. We meet for a book club once per month. And it's only mothers, empty nesters, because we have to and we can cry and we can talk about experiences. And then when we decide who we're going to let in, it has to be an empty nester because they do not understand. And then I find myself in the boat of being the only single parent in that group. And that's a different dynamic because they don't understand what I've been through. So that relationship is really an empty nester relationship.
Yes.
Do you want peace in your family relationships instead of conflict? Do you want a safe, loving marriage instead of one that is failing? Are you troubled about what's happening with your children and need help for them? At Legacy Changers Counseling Centers, the goal is to strengthen individuals and families with cutting-edge emotional and mental health interventions. The exceptionally trained counselors at Legacy provide the specialized guidance you need in a safe environment of belonging so that you can make the life changes you and your loved ones need. Get real help for your emotional and relationship needs. Call today at 404-334-7575. That's 404-334-7575. You can also find us on the web at legacychangerscounseling.com. Call now and transform your life today. 404-334-7575 or legacychangerscounseling.com.
So talk a little bit then about just the releasing of Kelsie, that process for you, for both of you, and how you're in the process of maybe still working that through, maybe not worked it through yet, but still working that through. What has that been like for you? What has made it not easy, but doable and healthy?
I'll tell my part first. A little bit shorter. So back in 2018, I was heading out to college, and I was basically done with Georgia. I was like, all right, I've been here for a long, long time, and I know all the nooks and crannies. I know this place like the back of my hand. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Oh, you sound like my daughters.
I was like, Mom, I love you. Peace. And then I went and I just did my own thing in Los Angeles. At first, it was hard adjusting because it's an entirely different world over there. A very different culture. It was the first semester. Was really hard, just because California itself is a very different world from Georgia, different culture. So it was kind of a culture shock. Also a different landscape. It's very green in Georgia. There's a lot of trees, but in Los Angeles, it's very populated. It looks, to me, it's kind of like a deserty kind of theme going on. So it was just like everything was different. And just like starting off college in general was interesting. It was a whole new dynamic that I was getting into. So I did constantly call my mom and my dad just to talk to them, to just kind of get familiar faces and everything like that. So they supported me a lot through that. But after first semester, second semester came, and I was like, all right, I'm ready. And I called them less. I was more doing my own thing.
Oh, we couldn't get her on the phone.
I adjusted very well. So yeah, that's my experience with just leaving. So.
Well, at first when she left, I was happy to go like, hey man, freedom again, because my entire existence for the last 8 years, 18, and primarily 8 when I was doing this on my own, was her. My entire focus was everything, my work, everything had to be, So initially when she left, it was like, oh my gosh, freedom, I can't believe it, bye, And then something happened, I didn't recognize that it was really depression until one of the other mothers came to visit me, and we were having the same feelings, like this lethargy, not wanting to get up on the couch, not just lethargy and sadness. And then we realized that what it was the empty nesting. Now, she had twins go up at the same time. So, so that was a realization. I thought I was just tired, but in fact, it was that depression. And then one of the lender that I work with primarily, he recognized that I wasn't myself. I wasn't clicking with my business. And so he had somebody, one of his counselors in his office, come talk to me, like a strategist, because I had gone through the same thing of empty nesting, having to rebuild his business, all of that. And he said, what's your focus? What is your purpose? We went back to spiritual thing. What are you here for? Because now I have to have a different focus. You've done a good job parenting. You now need to let go and rebuild yourself. So, so from that, I made steps to, so I recognized that at first it was very hard. But I think one thing that I was proud of is that she did not shy away from going that distance, of going all the way to California. I think, because Kelsie asked me to take her. She had also got into UGA, right? So she asked me to take her to UGA, which is 2 hours away, And she sat and she's like, this is not it. Not it. So she had the option to stay here, but I was really proud of her for making this humongous step to go 4 hours away by plane. So she went through that hard time. She went through a little hard time, and I was like, you have to deal with this. This is just a stretching. I said, life is about stretching. And when your rubber band stretches, it does not go back to that original thing. So you are growing. And she didn't talk to me for a week.
Yeah,
she didn't talk to me for a week.
I was like, Mom, I want to come home. She told me in her own words, but it was more or less no. So I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. But it was a stretching, and it's that growth that I don't think, for us at a different time, it was kind of seamless. But here she made a decision to go 4 hours away by plane. So you get to her quickly, if anything. The good thing is I have friends who are there. And that was a good thing. They'd look out for her. They came, took her to dinner, invited them to her home. So I had that sense of peace. And I think all in all, I was really proud of her for having the strength to do that, because not everybody can.
Yes.
And I thought, oh, good, it brought up a strong,
A good pat on the back.
a strong person. But it did leave me in depression for a while, and I had to sort my way out of that. So a year later, now, I am really recognizing that I don't have to be as concerned. Yes, I'm still mother, and I will always be mom.
Yes.
She has, because of the relationship and the communication and the friends, even the other day we had a tiff, and she left. She left, and she said she left a note. Do not call me.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, she said, do not call me. I will save and think. But she sent me a text later on, and she says, I'm fine. She'd really actually gone to one of the aunts,
Mm-hmm.
just overnight anyway. I thought I'd had 4 days to myself, but not so.
Now, you have the 4 days.
but it taught me that what it said to me is that even in a situation like that, she is still sensible. She does not make rash decisions and puts herself in danger. That she can think things through and realize that, because maybe I was telling her some truths that she was not ready to hear, so she needed time to process them away from me. And then when she came back, I was able to apologize, meaning maybe I told the truth a little bit too hard. There were truths nevertheless. So the whole communication process of understanding and forgiving and loving and hugging are necessary things as we grow, because we are individuals. We are individuals in the same place on a journey together, yet on a journey by ourselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the greatest thing for me will be to see her fly, to see her achieve the gifts, the goals, those things that she's been given, and she has some amazing talent. And I think for her, she said it earlier, that she wants to know that the heavy parenting is done. Now the same happened to me, because I have things that I've put on hold. And now I have to okay, Speedy Gonzalez, let's get to it. I have no more time to waste. I put the pedal to the metal here, the metal to the pedal, whichever one. But it's been, I think, it's not been easy. It's not been an easy journey. Yeah. There are times when finances have been very stretched. I'm a Christian, so I know that I must have faith. I've seen things happen in our lives that were just miraculous. And knowing, even today, just saying that, the Lord says, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you. So it's knowing that at the end of it, whenever I close my eyes, that I would have done my best in this journey called life. And, hopefully my legacy through her, through Kelsie, being who she's meant to be and being the strong, focused, happy
person
that she's supposed to be, I think that's the best reward you could have as a human being. Life as we have it comes down to be willing to recognize that sometimes we don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
Even sometimes, our young people can teach us things that we grew up in maybe a safer place, but more close-minded place, era. The ability, because parenting has taught me a lot about myself, funnily enough. It has taught me a lot about my tolerance, my level of patience, which sometimes I didn't have.
Yes.
That
sounds like a story that Kelsie could tell.
Yes. you know. But at the end of the day, it's the forgiveness and the love and the willingness to have somebody fly like an eagle. You know, the giving, the loving, the sharing. Um, I can think, just, and by that and through that, she has impacted her friends quite a bit.
Yeah.
By her maturity, and you mentioned that at the very beginning. She is, because it's very mature, so she's helped a lot of, even when we were in Jamaican middle school, she mentored some of the kids there. And she's done the same here. I remember when she came back, I remember there was a meeting of some students in a home, and the parent came up back to me, and she met me at the door, and she said, "Your daughter is amazing." She said, "Your daughter," when she came back, she said, "I know who I am. I know who I am." And I think it's important for us as parents, no matter what happens in the game of life, in this journey called life, it is for us to let them know who they are, so that nobody else can tell them who they are not. That's just a marvelous thing. So it's been an honor being a parent.
Let's see. I guess just everyone's different, and we all have our differences. And even if you're a daughter, mother, son, father, friends, anything like that, not everyone's gonna have the same perspective as you. Not everyone's going to have the same personality or same dreams or anything like that. Sometimes you'll have very different personalities, like my mom and I, but there's always a middle ground that you can find, because in reality, there's more things that we have in common than that we have that separate us. Yeah. If you just look at it, basic emotions, love, sadness, happiness, it's all those things. Everyone wants to have friends. Everyone wants to be able to love another person, to have a real connection with family, and everything like that, to fulfill their dreams, to provide. There's just so many things that you can find that's similar between everybody. You just got to look for them, even though it might not be, you might have political differences, you might have cultural differences. Those things are all should be secondary. I think the main thing we should truly focus on is where people want to go, what dreams they have, how they feel, and just everything like that. Just everything that's pretty much kind of like the primary aspect of who human beings are as a person, and within that you'll find the similarities between each and every person.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for being with us and sharing your stories and sharing what you believe has really helped you to flourish in your mother-daughter relationship. I wish the best for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Sutherland. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sutherland. Thanks for listening today, and I hope you'll join us again at this same time next week. If this information has been helpful, like us and share on Facebook at Legacy Changers Worldwide. You can also find other shows and resources to strengthen your mental health and family wellness at www.legacychangersworldwide.com and by subscribing to Dr. Sonja Sutherland on YouTube. I'm in your corner and always hoping the best for you. I'll see you next week.